Alright, this will be my attempt at a community walkthrough for the Hack Smarter Labs hands-on lab SQL Basics. Okay, so first let's jump over here onto my Acer. I'm already logged in and I've looked at the hands-on labs. You see this is in progress. That's because I did not have my Kali virtual machine installed. I had to take a quick break and get that installed. Okay, so I will go to resume course. So as you see, SQL injection is difficult to learn because aspiring hackers try to break a database before they know how to build one. To exploit a system, you first have to speak its language. I always recommend that you understand how services work before you try to break them. Okay? In the lab, you will step into the role of a database administrator. You must use raw SQL commands to navigate, modify, and query a live backend database. Complete all 4 missions to prove your fluency and unlock the final flag. So there's 4 different missions we have to do. Let's jump right in. Now this is supposed to be a basic hands-on fundamental lab, so let's see what they have for us. Okay. Here's my IP address. I can now start it. Now that I'm actually on my Kali machine, I should still download the VPN. So let me download my VPN config. Actually, let me kill this one. Don't want that one. Don't want to confuse the system there. Okay, so now I've downloaded this challenge VPN. I can just simply go to that directory, open the terminal right there. That's how I like to do it. Open terminal here. And now once I jump in, now I can simply do a listing of that, and now I can just say which open VPN just to make sure I have it, and I do have it. So open VPN, and now let me do challenge lab SQL BAOVPN. Okay, and you're going to want to throw a sudo in front of this because you do have to have the appropriate permissions to actually create a VPN connection. You see now I have this IP address that has been assigned to this tunnel. Okay, I can open up a new tab and I can verify this IP space A, and I see I do have that. Okay, so now our IP address for our machine in this case is get rid of a couple of things there, is this one right here. So if you just simply click on this, it will copy it to your clipboard, which is great. Okay, objective SQL injection is difficult to learn. Yep, same thing we just read. So what is the flag? So our first thing is to figure out the flag. My first time using Hack Smarter Labs, so I have no idea how to interact with the system, but my first idea is always to scan the heck out of it. Why not? Nmap SV, simple, just to get the TCP ports, and we'll see what that comes back with. Hopefully we'll use the appropriate tunnel. Okay, it has SSH and HTTP on it. Okay, so in that case, I always like to browse websites, but I'm also going to use a couple of scripts here. So I can use a nmap TAC-P80 script, HTTP enum. I can also throw a nicto at it, but I will just throw this at it. It would help if I put the IP address. Okay, but I like to browse it as well, so I will just go straight there. HTTP. Okay, and let's see what we have here. Okay, SQL command console. Okay, so here's our mission objective. So clearly the way that he has this stuff set up is he has a web interface on here with our missions. Okay, so find a product with the 1337 stock, move Alice Smith to cybersecurity, add new employee hacker, and delete Bob Jones. Okay, so if you don't know much about SQL, it's basically a database, and you have a database management service. Inside of that service, you'll have multiple databases, and then inside of each database, you will have tables, right? So you have a big database, databases inside of those, and then you also have tables inside the database. So I'll walk through what that kind of looks like. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is say show tables or show databases. Okay, and then I will. So notice I put show and then the databases and a semicolon. The semicolon is the terminator. I will say execute SQL. near show syntax error. That's weird. Okay. Databases. Bases. Okay, let's just do show tables then. Maybe we're inside of a particular service already. Okay, that is interesting. Okay, so you need to know the table names first. Try querying SQLite master. Maybe I need to actually say use SQLite master. Okay, so let's see if that works. Fine. Show tables from SQLite master. Maybe it's getting mad at me because of semicolon. At version. Try querying SQLite master. No. Interesting. Help? Alright, so not a lot of help here. You need to know the table names first. Okay. Let's do select table name and table schema from information schema dot tables. Okay, so let me quickly explain what's happening. I'm in a database management service. Inside of this database management service, there are some basic databases that always exist with tables. Okay, so what I'm doing is in a database table, in any table, there are columns and rows. A row is an entry. A column has a column name, which is the piece of data per entry. So for example, if I was talking about myself and Tyler Ramsby, it might be creators. That was the table. And then entry 1 might be first name. That would be column 1. That would be column first name. And underneath it, you would see Tyler and then Kirk. And then in the last name, it might be Ramsby Carter, right? I might have another column subscriber count, another column YouTube channel, whatever. So what I'm doing here is there's a database called information schema, which holds basically a map or details about all the different databases and tables inside of the database management service, and then I'm grabbing tables. Okay, this is a specific table inside of information schema that holds a few pieces of information like table name and table schema. Table name is the name of the table itself. Table schema is the database name. So I will put my terminator on there. No such table information schema.table. Interesting. Select from SQLite master. I'm just going to try to select everything and see what happens. Okay, interesting. So I'm not quite sure what database management service he has on the back, but it looks like if we select the wildcard, select everything from SQLite master, then you get these things. So I have 1, 2, 3 tables. Okay, very good idea to take a screenshot of this. Okay, so I will take a screenshot. There we go. Let's see, select the region, and then let's click OK. Now I know that Tyler Ramsey would say, well, you need Flameshot. I do need Flameshot. It's just not installed on this system because I just started it. Alright, so, sure. Let's just say database. Cool. So I've got that. So now I have these tables, and now what was used to create the tables were these things. So now what we have here is we have a create table, and then we have this sequence, okay, that's the name of the table itself, and then we have the different fields. Okay, so we have a name sequence. Here we have employees, products. Create table employees. So our columns are ID, which is an integer, so 1, 2, 3, and it's a primary key in auto increment. So what that means is databases, entries in a database must have a unique key. And so since this is the primary key, there cannot be two entries with the same ID field. Okay, and it auto increments, that way every time that one's added, it will just increase the number that's placed inside of the primary key. Okay, so name is some type of text, and it must have something in it. Department is text, not null, meaning it has to have something in it. The salary is integer, not null. Okay, it's very similar here with the products. You have ID integer, primary key auto increment. So this is another table that has a primary key of the ID that's auto incrementing. We have an item name, price, stock. Okay, so I like to take a screenshot or write this down, if you will, so I have it. So next I need to find a product with the 1337 stock. Okay, so let's do that. So we will say select our products. So we can select with a 1337 stock. So we see 1337 stock. So best way to do it is just select everything from products. So we were saying, hey, I'm inside of this database. From the table, I'm going to grab all the different pieces of data. And then now here's where the filter comes in. I can say where, and then what we're looking to filter on is the stock, because we know the stock is an integer, where stock is equal to 1337. Okay, execute that SQL, and now we have our one thing that I was looking for. Okay, pretty simple. There's our mechanical keyboard. Okay, let's go back where we were before. So we can kind of have our map, if you will. Okay, next, move Alice Smith to cybersecurity. Okay, so I'm assuming this is employees. Okay, so first, let's just grab everything from that table. Okay, now, cool little trick here. If I just say from employees, right, that should run just fine. But I can also specify database dot table. And so the point of this is that I can specify, if I know on my database management service there's multiple databases, I can specify which one, and it doesn't even work. So I'm very curious on to what he has on the back end, but that's quite all right. But let's just select everything from employees, and so we have Alice Smith, Bob Jones, Charlie Day, and Dana White. Okay, clearly he likes UFC. So now what we want to do is we want to update this. So let's do I wonder if we can actually do some shenanigans. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Okay, cool. Now we can actually replace this with add version, because I'm curious what's actually running on the back end, and it's not, it must be sanitized. It's not allowing us to do that. Let's just select everything again. Execute the SQL. And we can update this. Let's see, how do I do this? I think it's just update. Update. How do we update? Let's do SQL update. Just Google it real quick. Alright, so update statement is set, so update syntax, so update the table name, and then set the columns, okay? So let's do that real quick. So update the table, so update what was this, employees, and we're going to set department, and then we're going to set our fields. So set column equals value. So we're going to move Alice Smith to cybersecurity. So set department equal to cybersecurity. And then now here's where we have to filter, because we don't want to move everyone. We need to move one person. So where name equals Alice Smith. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so I got my little green check mark. I did the thing. So I've said update this table. I'm going to set this particular column to this value, and I'm only filtering for Alice Smith. Okay. I probably could do it with all of them at the same time. Select from employees. Okay, execute my SQL. I want to try to do all of them, and let's just see. Set employees. No, update employees. Set department equals cybersecurity. And I'm just curious if it will actually update all of them. Select employees. Select everything from employees. From employees. So everyone's in cybersecurity now, right? But I showed you how to filter it down. Okay, so we can add a new employee hacker. So now I can say insert into employees, and then now I'm going to insert all the things. Okay, I can say ID equals 5. Or is it ID? Yeah. So ID, name, department, salary, and then I have to say values, and then it's going to be 5 hacker, and then we can just say red team for our department there, and then the salary can be 1237. That's all he gets. Let's try that. I forgot my comma here. Kind of important to do the comma to separate our values there. So now I've added a new employee hacker. And now I can double check that. Select everything from employees. Got it. So we see what I've done there. I've done the insert into a particular table, and then I put all the columns, and then I separate the values out. And then finally, we can delete Bob Jones. So we can just drop we can say drop. I've never actually done, I've always seen just the drop tables, which is not what we want to do. Let's just drop employees. So we're going to drop all the values from the table where name is equal to Bob Jones. Okay, let's try that. Syntax error. Okay, so maybe it doesn't like that. Still quick search on drop. Let's do SQL drop. So this will drop a table. You drop a column. How do we drop a particular row though? Drop object type name. So can I drop a row? Alter table, drop index. Okay, so we can drop the index. So let's drop the index. So let's choose an index. Sure, let's do that. Drop index. I don't want to drop a table. Let's say drop row. Okay, so you just say delete, so that was close. So let's just delete from employees. There we go. Let's try to do too much. Oh, delete. That's probably delete. There we go. Spelling is important. Alright, sweet. So, I got that. Got our flag. So I did my little 4 missions there. Let's go back to the playthrough. And let's do the flag. Completed. Okay, so that was a quick walkthrough. A little rough on the SQL Fundamentals by Tyler Ramsby. So very, very easy. Just a website hosted on a machine that he had spun up where you just do some basic SQL commands.